Yo, so what up? It's Intellect, the one and only homie. I don't fucking phonies. Y'all know what it is. I got the Ali poster that's way too high up here. Got my Dan Marino shit up there. I'll fix the camera angle, but not today. So you gotta deal with Sunny Listen just chilling right here. Is that just right here? There you go. Yes, combat sports with Intellect, and let's get down to it. Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia. It's a great fight. Two good boxers. The difference for me was the fact that Keith Thurman let his hands go a little more, was a little more active as far as ring generalship. They both basically were where they wanted to be in the fight. And, this was a very historic fight. Two undefeated world champions of welterweight. Last time that happened, if I'm not mistaken, it was Trinidad and De La Hoya. This was definitely a way better fight than that fight. And, yeah, I was very entertained by the fight. I thought Danny Garcia was going to personally get knocked the fuck out, but he did incredible. You know what I mean? The only thing is he just doesn't let his hands go enough. That's been a constant problem in his career. When it comes to certain fighters, you got to let your hands go a little more. You got to be willing to exchange a little more. Right? At least dictate where the exchanges go and how the exchanges start and end. So there's a small difference, but it's the only difference that was needed. And yeah, another fight: Roman Gonzalez versus Chocolatito. Viva Nicaragua. You know what it is. Fought that Thailand fighter. I don't know his name. Not gonna pretend like I do. Not that I don't give a fuck. It's just the first time I ever heard his name, and he had one of those names where it's like you need to know it a few times. It's like, don't act like you guys heard Pacquiao the first time and you got to say that shit correctly. You were like, Pacquiao, what? You're like, nah. It's like, I don't know what the fuck that dude's name is. So yeah, it was a good fight. Thought Roman Gonzalez outlanded him a lot in that fight, and thought he got robbed. It happens. It was the worst robbery of the night, but not the only robbery of the night. We're gonna get into that in a moment. But it was a good fight. I just knew once that happened, I knew Golovkin was gonna win the fight because I knew the reason. I mean, that's not a conspiracy theory, but I knew the reason behind this was because him and Golovkin has been fighting on the same card. I think it's like the second fight now. I think this was set up to make Golovkin become the number one pound for pound fighter. You know what I mean? And because there's no reason Roman should have lost that fight. You know what I mean? It's clear that he's coming to the end of his career. He's a small guy. He's moved up in weight a lot already. And, in those small divisions, moving up like 4 or 5 pounds, it's like moving up from 160 to 175. It's like it's that much of a difference because, it's like percentage of body mass, so is what it is. He fought a good fight, people know who won, so it's like it happens. Let's get to this Jacobs fight. I thought Jacobs personally won the fight. One thing I've noticed about HBO punch stats, if you look back in the first round, like look if you see Golovkin land 7 punches, because I remember. Sorry, something came up on the screen at the. So I remember what's it called again. I'm doing this on my phone, by the way. Sorry, I'm interrupting myself. But yeah, I noticed in the first round that Golovkin, like I saw him land maybe like 2 punches, and then I looked at the punch stats. It showed that Golovkin landed 7 punches, and I was like, this is bullshit. That's no way. And at the end of the fight, it showed Golovkin landed more punches, and I'm like, how? He would have knocked him out if he landed more punches. Showed he out jabbed Jacobs was like the only 2 rounds Golovkin out jabbed him was the fourth and the fifth round. Other than that, Jacobs was landing jabs like 3-1 on him. To say that those punch shots were bullshit. It's like when Canelo fought Cotto. If you look back, it says Canelo outlanded Cotto. If you look at the fight, the ebb and flow of the fight was the smaller Cotto landing combinations while, or at least a combination of jabs to like a few punches, and to Canelo landed 1 or 2 heavier punches because he was the bigger guy and he was clearly rocking and moving Cotto. If he outlanded Cotto, he would have knocked him the fuck out. But HBO does this, that's why I call it H-Bias, so not HBO, and I don't really support them and shit. I don't like watching their fights. I say, go stream that shit for free somewhere, watch it at a bar, you don't got to pay for that shit. Something, don't support them. You know what I mean? Jim Lampley, old racist ass, need to get the fuck up on out of here. So it's like, is what it is. And let's get to MMA. Speaking of MMA, I got UFC Fight Pass. Watch some of those Invicta fights. Invicta fights was good until like the co-main event. I'm sorry I forgot the two young ladies' names and shit. It was the first time I seen them. It's not like I remember everybody's name the first time I seen them. I don't. I'm horrible with names. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was a former 155 champ who lost to Angela Lee. I know her because I've seen her a lot. I think Yee, or not Lee, whatever the fuck her name is. The chick who just lost to the Brazilian chick who's gonna fight Joanna Jędrzejczyk. See, I know her name because I've seen her a lot. And the former atomweight champ and Invicta, like they fought at 115, I think, and the fight was good until she got dropped. And then when she got dropped, by the way she got dropped, like she was out. Like you tell, she wasn't completely out, but like she got close to stopping the fight. Then like she's literally, like, I'll show you. She's like this. Like this is the ground, right? She's like this in the fetal position, meaning like her knees is like touching her elbows, and she's getting like hammer fisted, like in this position, not here, but like just like right here, while she's not moving. Like this. Girls on top of her, hammer fisting her like a fucking serial killer. And it's like, dude, it's like stop the fight. The ref didn't stop the fight for like I don't know how long. The girl was out for a minute, and it was like, dude, it's like that was horrible. One of the worst refereeing jobs I've ever seen. I don't know who that ref is, but you need to fire that motherfucker. You need to get that motherfucker in the ring, knock his ass out, wake him up, and be like, you're fired. Fuck out of here. So it's like, yeah, that was a horrible ref. And other than that, it was a great night. Events. Glad I got UFC Fight Pass. Women's MMA has definitely gone up in skill wise because it was a very entertaining night of fights. Shout out to the main event chick who I forgot her name. She's one of these old, not old for like the earth, but like just just old as far as like she's a veteran in the sport. And been around since like I think like Strike Force and Elite XC and shit. Even before that, obviously, but she once again sexually harassed a female reporter. And it's cute when she does. It's adorable when she does it. If a male MMA fighter did that shit, that motherfucker going to jail. Going to jail now. So it's like she do it cute, do it fucking atrocities. So yeah, motherfuckers get paid less. And that's a joke. Don't get offended. If you do, suck a dick. Let's see other MMA fights. I still haven't seen Overeem versus Hunt. I'm just bringing that up because I missed that fight when I was on the way to watch the pay-per-view. And I just haven't, and it hasn't come up on Fight Pass yet. I think it has already, but I just haven't seen it. I'm probably going to watch it now. Been watching a lot of Bushido fights. And get MMA news and MMA fights real quick. T. Woodley versus Wonder Boy. Once again, I thought Woodley won in that rematch. People keep saying, but like Wonder Boy landed. I'm like, he landed a few kicks, no damage. Woodley almost stopped the fight. End of the fight. Who would you rather be, Wonder Boy, Woodley? Which one? Oh, the one who didn't get his ass kicked in the fight. That's who you want to be? Then he won. Shut the fuck up. All right, it is what it is. It was a close fight. It was an entertaining fight for me. It was an entertaining fight for most fight fans because they just want to see knockouts and shit. I understand that. You don't understand or you don't appreciate the small details that go into the fight. You know what I mean? I understand that. You know what I mean? Just like certain football fans, they don't want to see a defensive struggle. They want to see an offensive blowout. You know what I mean? Like they just want to see fucking touchdowns and shit and like long passes and long runs. They don't want to see strategic defensive plays that break down the offense and stop them from getting, 10 yards within 3 downs. You know what I mean? It's like they don't want to see that. I understand. So it's like, to each his own. I just thought it was a good fight. Speaking of upcoming fights, GSP versus Bisbee is fucking bullshit because GSP should be fighting Nick Diaz. Because that way, whoever wins that fight, you know what I mean? They're still good, because they lost to another superstar. They both haven't fought in a while. You can sell that show in Canada. You could even bring that out to Stockton or somewhere, you know what I mean? because I think they D is far them in Canada. So it's like if you bring that to San Jose or somewhere up north in Cali, that's gonna be a sellout. Whew, if you bring that to Staples Center, it's gonna be a sellout. You bring that anywhere, it's gonna be a sellout. So I personally think that's the fight that should have happened. And Yoel Romero's getting robbed of his title shot, but so is Jacare. So it's like, it is what it is. As far as Anthony Johnson versus Daniel Cormier, I think Cormier is probably gonna win it again by out wrestling him and just grinding him out. But that first round, boy, woo! Stay away from those punches because Rumble's a killer, dude. Rumble will make you crumble. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it really depends, man. Really depends on how that first round go and how gassed Anthony Johnson gets by trying to finish him. Because I think if Anthony Johnson hurts him and doesn't stop him, it really depends on his training, how the fight goes. Because if he hurts him and instead of blowing his wad like he did last time to finish him, he's smart about it. It could work two ways. He could have stopped him or not, but like that might dictate the fight. You know what I mean? And I think if he hurts him, I don't think he's gonna rush him. I think he's gonna play it calm, and I think that's gonna dictate how the fight goes. And it might just end up being the perfect thing for him. He might just kill him at second or third round. Because if you look at his fight with Phil Davis, he was deadly all 3 rounds. Phil Davis clearly showed he has one of the best chins in MMA in that fight. Because he took some shots and he was good. He was good. He wasn't like great, but he was good. So, one of my favorite fighters currently, Lorenzo Larkin, actually got cut, or like they didn't re-sign his contract, and he went to Bellator. He's fighting for the welterweight title against Douglas Lima. Larkin's gonna knock that ass out, boy. Shout out to Larkin, man. Monsoon coming soon with that title, dude. You know what I mean? So, shout out to that. You know what I mean? And yeah, the few good fights coming up. You know what I mean? Really getting into Glory and K1, but I'm just so caught up in the Pride right now. Just catching up on old Pride fights that I haven't seen, just watching the entire event front and back. It's incredible. Love UFC Fight Pass. Sorry for hitting my own chair. So yeah, just looking forward to those fights. I know it's been a minute since I've been in the pimping, but it is what it is. I just had my battle on A-Hat not that long ago in the Corona. A-Hat, I Evolve, Young Bizzle Bar Fest. Shout out A-Hat and I Evolve, battle coming soon. I caught a body. It was a good event though, my opponent was good and shit. He did good and shit. You know what I mean? We came with these Trump jokes that perfectly lined up with my Trump lines. And it was just woo. The Nature Boy's ass. I didn't really woo in the event, but it was like it was fire. Fuego. So yeah, that's it for my combat sports analogy and talk and discussion. It's been a while, but I'm being it. You know what I mean? I'll come back with some more shit. Next video probably drop tomorrow or the day after, discussing some other things. I'm gonna do some movie breakdowns as well, but also gonna do these battle breakdowns. I'm gonna start watching battles and breaking down each round. And yeah, it is what it is. So you know who it is. You know who it be. Intellect, the one and only homie. I don't fuck with phonies. I'm out here doing my thing, chilling, laying up a sunny list, keeping it pimping. So hope y'all had a good day. Hope you have a good night. Hope you enjoy your life. Hope you enjoy these fights. You know what I mean? And discuss, comment below. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Talk shit about me if you want, just as long as it's funny. Like, I don't care if you talk shit, but just don't be like stupid about it. Like, be funny. If you're funny, then I'm gonna laugh and respond back. If you're not, then I'm gonna delete you because you're not funny. So it is what it is, and yeah, y'all have a good day. I'm out this motherfucker. Peace.